So my name is Cathy Iacobucci. I'm the Chief Financial Officer, and I provide all the finance and accounting services for Pondurance. I'm an accountant by trade. I worked for an accounting firm prior to joining Pondurance that served small to medium-sized businesses and startups, and provided CFO, controller, and bookkeeping services to those kinds of companies. I spent 3 years with one particular cyber company that I worked for as a contractor, and that really piqued my interest in cyber. That company was then acquired by a larger company on the West Coast, and the CEO of the company that was acquired is the person that actually brought me into Pondurance. So I'm in finance. I'm an accountant, but and a CPA, but I sort of made my way into cyber through contracting work that I did with an accounting firm. I had a number of other tech type companies, not cyber specifically, but tech companies that I worked for. I'm actually most fascinated by the technology and the implementation of web-based solutions to form an integrated accounting system. When I came into Pondurance, my initial goals were to create automation and scalability with user-friendly technology. Over time, I became more involved in other aspects of the business, and was anxious to become part of the management team. I became the CFO in 2019. Biggest lesson I've learned as I've moved up in my career, I would say, is how to self-manage. I've worked in a variety of different roles. I've worked for companies. I've worked as a contractor for multiple companies. But I just learned very early on how to self-manage. I've never been one to wait for somebody to tell me what to do. I look for what needs to be done, and then I do it. And that's just sort of been the way I've always worked. I've had bosses that have been hands-on, hands-off, a lot of hands-off. So I've been able, I've just felt like I'm very self-motivated and can manage myself really well. And that really helps. That helps you to grow in a career when you can see opportunities and, and move towards them. I think in a company like ours, there's an opportunity to get involved in every aspect of accounting. That's not the case always with, larger companies, where if you join a very large company, you can be pigeonholed into one area and you don't get to see the whole picture. In our company, because the accounting team is small, the finance team is small, there's an opportunity to touch every area, and that's a really good learning experience. It's very valuable, and I had this advantage very early on in learning how accounting components and all of the systems fit together. Once you learn that, you can really understand any accounting system. And with our business, we're maximizing accounting technology. It's a future-oriented system, and I think that if you learn that sort of technology, it will provide you more opportunities in the future. Especially, if you want to work with small businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, and understand how to put platforms in place and things like that. That's what we've done here. We've built this from scratch, and that's just experience that you're not going to get when you walk into things that are already, in existence, and you just have to learn a system. I would say be confident. Be genuine, be enthused. I like to see enthusiastic people, somebody that I think I would enjoy working with. Be open to technology. I do find, when I've interviewed in the past, sometimes people are a little afraid of it. And so I'd say, be really open to it. Because there's different pieces of technology in use in all kinds of different places. So you have to be willing to adapt and learn, keep learning, be willing to keep learning and express that. Also, as far as what I'd like to know from someone, that I would advise is to tell me about your accomplishments, what you've set out to do and how you did it. Those are things I like to hear about in an interview. I think it's important when you are progressing through your career is to get involved and take ownership. Look for areas where you can, become more involved and take ownership of them. When somebody works for me, I want them to learn, what the area that they're going to be responsible for, and I want them to take ownership of it, because that takes that off my plate. And I like to feel confident that person, is has their arms around it and, is owning it. And I think it's important in order to grow, to be able to do that and give confidence to the people that you're working for, that you can handle things, handle more work, handle different areas. I also really believe in the work smarter, not harder philosophy. I'm really not a person that believes in working, yourself to death, just, to get your job done. I think it's more important to be efficient, to look for efficiencies, to look for ways to be efficient and effective. So it's really managing your work and figuring out better ways to do things. Don't get trapped into the way things have always been done. Look for better ways, look for smarter ways. That's the way I like to approach things. So I think, when you're in your earlier stages of your career, always, be looking for things you can own and ways you can improve. And that's always gonna, bode well for you as you move forward. It's important to be able to look out there and see what do I need to do here? What does this require from me? How can I do this well? The other thing I would say is, when you make commitments, be sure you follow through. I mean, that's another philosophy I have. If I say something's going to get done, then it's going to get done. I'm not going to commit unless I know I can deliver. So if I make a commitment, then people will rely on me, and they know they can. So I think that's important to understand early in your career. I like to see people who are able to, credit those around them for things that they've done. I like, that people that aren't always looking to be, the center, don't want to be the center of attention necessarily, but can find ways to acknowledge and credit others that have helped them through their work and career and things like that. I think it's a good quality to see somebody who's more of a servant leader type person. Because, we're a very small team at Pondurance with accounting and finance, and we, and administration is really under my umbrella too in some aspects. But I just think of it, it's a team approach, and people that want to be part of a team and, can understand that contribution, feeds the team and not just an individual. I mean, that's an important quality to me. People that are just really friendly and nice and just easy to get along with. I like that quality, not high maintenance people. I guess, if that's the right way to say it, but just people that are just nice. As far as on our team, I work directly with the staff accountant that's on our team now. And so, I'm trying to constantly mentor and teach, more areas to take responsibility for, and just general learning. So, there's a lot of interaction there because we're a very small team. Within the company at large, I think that, even the CEO is pretty clear that he's happy to meet with anyone at any time. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities, within your specific area to communicate with management, your management, regularly. I have a one-on-one every week with the CEO. So, we're in contact through the week. I mean, Slack and the communication tools that are available now makes it very easy to stay in regular communication, even working remotely, as a lot of us are doing a lot of the time. It's very easy to stay in regular communication. I'm an industry accountant, so I've not, even though I'm a CPA, I've not worked in tax. I've been on the industry track really since college. In industry, there's a lot of variety in experience and a lot of different ways you can go in your career, and you don't necessarily even have to stay in accounting. I mean, you can move into leadership roles that are, operational or, or finance, even CEOs. I mean, it just can come from this background. I think, you get a lot of introduction into the management of a business because you're just have so much exposure through finance to a lot of different areas. So I think, it's a good learning ground when you can come in and sort of learn the inner workings of things and understand how all of the business fits together. It really gives you a good foundation to even move into other areas in your career as you go forward. So I think industry accounting is more fun than I guess my own view of working at a CPA firm or something. I find being part of a business more exciting way to go with accounting. And being the CFO gives me the opportunity to work at with the upper levels of management. I really do enjoy that. I like to be able to impact the business and be part of that team. Also, even though we're accounting and finance, we still get to wear the T-shirt that says "I fight cybercrime." So that makes me feel like special.